Okay, well, I think it's time to start doing some Team of the Season predictions, and we're going to kick things off with a look at the Premier League TOTS. Now, obviously the season isn't over yet, but not much we can do about that. Like most leagues, the Premier League is currently on hold, and I think it's fairly likely at this point that the Premier League probably won't resume anytime soon, so we could actually see Team of the Season drop before the Premier League actually does resume, which would be pretty mad, but it definitely could happen. Anyway, today's video is obviously going to be a bit controversial because it's down to opinion, and that's why I do invite you guys to take part in this video by being active in the comment section. If you disagree with any of the players which I've selected, feel free to let me know in the comments. And also, if you're going to challenge some of my picks, make sure you suggest a replacement as well. I'd love to see some of you guys recommend your 23-man squad for the Premier League Team of the Season. It is not easy to do, I can promise you that. I've spent hours debating on some picks, taking out players, putting them back in, etc, etc. This has been a very tough video to produce, and if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I've been putting out quite a few polls to help me with some selections. So if you don't follow me on Twitter already, make sure you do that by the end of this video. Anyway, I've rambled for long enough, so let's just get straight into things, shall we? We begin with the goalkeepers. Now, this honestly was one of the toughest positions to actually look at because there are actually so many potential standout options. There are about 6 or 7 goalkeepers who I think definitely have a shout at featuring in the Team of the Season. I'm thinking players like Kasper Schmeichel. Leno's actually had a really good year for Arsenal despite Arsenal's defence being horrendous. You've got Nick Pope, who's got a lot of clean sheets. You've got Guaita from Crystal Palace, who's been awesome for them. And then you've also got the 3 goalkeepers that I've gone with on the screen right now. Alisson was a bit of an easy pick. Now, Liverpool have absolutely run away with the league. They've conceded the least goals out of anyone, and obviously Alisson is up there in clean sheets. Has Alisson had the most impressive of seasons? Probably not compared to other goalkeepers, but he's still been pretty solid and worthy of a spot in my opinion. Next to him is Newcastle's DUBRAVKA. Now, I know I know Newcastle are not doing well in the league. They're in 13th, and yeah, things aren't looking amazing for them. They're only 8 points off the bottom 3, but if it wasn't for their goalkeeper, they could very well be in that bottom 3 right now. DUBRAVKA has made more saves than anyone in the Premier League this season, and yeah, he's done really well to keep the clean sheets he has. He's actually kept 9 clean sheets, which is only 2 off the most in the league, so impressive stuff from a goalkeeper who is playing for a team in a low spot in the league table. The final goalkeeper on this page is probably the one I'm most confident in, to be honest. It's Dean Henderson, who has been just insane for Sheffield United this year. Sheffield United in the Premier League have such a good defensive record. They've only conceded 25 times in the league, and that's the second best in the league. And this is from a team who are newly promoted. This is absolutely mad. Their defence has been class, and so has their goalkeeper. And Henderson, in my opinion, definitely deserves a blue card whenever they do indeed release. He's currently second in the clean sheet charts with 10. On the next page, we have 3 Liverpool defenders, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this page because it's obvious why all 3 of them are in. They've been amazing this year. Like I've said before, Liverpool without doubt have been just like a world above everyone else in the league this year. They've been absolutely outstanding. I'm just glad as an Arsenal fan that they didn't, take our invincible season from us. And nonetheless, their backline is incredible, and all 3 of these guys have Team of the Year cards in FIFA, and I don't think their Team of the Season cards are going to be as highly rated or better this year. I think they'll go 1 under, so that's why I've given them ratings. Nonetheless, like I already said, these 3 all deserve it. I don't have to go into detail because everyone will agree with these. And yeah, let's move on quickly. Bravo Liverpool, your defence is just nuts. On the third slide, we have some more defenders. I touched on earlier how good Sheffield United's defence has been, and they deserve a defender, maybe 2 in Team of the Season. I've only gone with 1, but as I say, I wouldn't be shocked to see them get a second. Now, the one that stood out for me this year was O'Connell, who has just been absolutely class for the Yorkshire-based side. However, I would not be surprised to see Ender Stevens get in, the left wing back, Basham get in, or even Egan, because all of them have just been really freaking good in this 3/5 back system that Sheffield run with. So yeah, they have to get a defender in team of the season, like maybe even 2, but yeah, just be amazed if they don't. Moving on, we've actually got 2 Leicester City players now. I've gone for Soyuncu and Pereira. I'm guessing I've got the Turkish player's name wrong, but we will rock with it anyway. Leicester are another team that have got a good defensive record this year, and Pereira has been one of the standout fullbacks all year long, so that's why I've included him, and Soyuncu has also been one of the standout centre-backs. Now, it's worth mentioning that Johnny Evans, yeah, I know he's a bit of a meme from his time at Man United, but he's been really freaking good for Leicester, like absolutely outstanding, especially this season. So I would not be surprised to see Evans in instead of the Turkish centre-back. So definitely a debate to be had there in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know. Now it's time to discuss this little English contingent that I have on this page. We have got Jack Grealish from Aston Villa, James Maddison from Leicester, and Jordan Henderson from Liverpool. Jack Grealish is another one that's really obvious, I feel. Yeah, Aston Villa are not doing too well in the Premier League. That's definitely something worth mentioning. They're 19th, and it's looking like they could be in quite a battle to stay up. But there's one player that stood out amongst all of them in that team, and that is Jack Grealish. And there's a reason he's been linked with a lot of the big teams in the Premier League, because he's been absolutely class for his side this season. He's doing really well to just help his side get points and to maybe try and stay in the Premier League. And yeah, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get a blue card come the end of FIFA 20. James Maddison's had a really good year for Leicester. He's actually a player I'd love Arsenal to sign, to be honest. I think he'd fit our midfield quite nicely. Not going to happen though, because, you know, we're Arsenal. Anyway, we're talking about Maddison. He's got some good stats to back him up this year. He's been involved in plenty of goals. I think he's got 10 direct goal involvements for the Foxes. And yeah, just been a key part of that Leicester City midfield. Now, I haven't gone for Ndidi in my predictions, but he's definitely a player that I could see getting into the team of the season. The reason I haven't gone for Ndidi is just because, to be honest, I couldn't find room for him, and I've already got a bunch of Leicester City players, and I can't see them getting more than 4, to be honest. So, unfortunately, he didn't quite make the cut for me, but I still think he's got a good chance, so it's definitely worth me mentioning that. One midfielder who will definitely be getting a blue card is Jordan Henderson, who is, he's just been great, hasn't he? Like, that full Liverpool team has been great, it really has, but Jordan Henderson has been the player that pretty much just links it all together, sitting in that midfield spot. And this is definitely his best season as a professional footballer, and yeah, whenever the Premier League resumed, I'm sure he'll be lifting the Premier League trophy very freaking soon. I get the feeling this slide right here is going to cause a lot of dialogue, so looking forward to that. Definitely think Man United will get at least 1 blue in the upcoming team this season. Might get 2 if EA go for one of the defenders. I think Wan-Bissaka or Maguire have a chance. But if there's one player that I'm confident about Man United having in the team this season, it is Marcus Rashford, who has been involved in 18 goals directly this year. 14 goals and 4 assists for him. Now, Bruno Fernandes has obviously come in and been really good, but he just hasn't played enough games to get into the Premier League team this season. But EA could give him a team this season moments card, a team season flashback card, and flashback to one of his previous blue cards from previous FIFAs. Moving on now to Kevin De Bruyne. This is one of them that I just don't have to go into detail about, because we all know he's going to get a blue, and that's because he is a ridiculously good footballer. 8 goals and 16 assists in the Premier League so far. That's nuts. That's absolutely mad. Fair play. Definitely getting a blue. Hopefully it's just as good as his Team of the Year card. Now, on the end, we have Chelsea's Kovacic. Now, Chelsea sit 4th in the table, so it's very likely that they will get a Team of the Season card. Maybe even 2, who knows. But they haven't had like a mass standout player in my opinion. Now, if you're a Chelsea fan and you disagree with that, please do let me know. I think the player who stood out the most this year has been Kovacic on a consistency basis. There obviously are players like Mason Mount and Abraham who have been very good, but they've been good in patches. Like Abraham at the start was just incredible. He has since not been as hot on the football pitch. But nonetheless, I'm going for Kovacic. If you're a Chelsea fan and you disagree, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, I definitely think Chelsea will get a blue. It's just a case of which one will be selected. I am going for the Croatian mid. Wolves have enjoyed a good Premier League campaign thus far, currently sitting in 6th and could maybe sneak into the Champions League spots. Who knows? We'll find out whenever the Premier League resumes, I guess. There's been 2 standout players for Wolves, maybe 3 to be honest. Matt Doherty is definitely worth a shout, but the 2 that I think are definitely worth discussing are Raul Jimenez and also Adama Traore. Now, it has to be said, Adama Traore probably is a prime candidate for a Team of the Season Moments card, but due to him having that headliners item in Ultimate Team, and that was an SBC, I don't know if EA will want to give him another SBC card, but who knows? They like to repeat content, as we well know. So Adama, obviously, very good year for him. 4 goals and 7 assists from a right wing / right wing back role. Very good numbers. And Raul Jimenez has been involved in 19 goals directly this year, which is very impressive. 13 goals and 6 assists for the Mexican. Now, the player in the middle is obviously RICHARLISON. Everton currently sit in 12th in the Premier League, and I won't lie, I'm not super confident about this one at all. I just kind of think he might get in. Everton have probably got 2 standout players this year, one of them being the Brazilian, the other one being Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I don't think they'll get 2 in Team of the Season, but in my head, Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a Team of the Season objective card seems to be something like EA would do, so probably one to watch out for. I was so unsure about this one that I actually ended up tweeting out about it. I asked you guys on Twitter, who do you think will get the Team of the Season card from Everton if they get one, between RICHARLISON, Calvert-Lewin, and they won't get a Team of the Season card at all, and RICHARLISON just won the vote by the narrowest of margins, so that's why I have gone for him. But like I say, I am not confident in that one at all, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that down below. On the penultimate page, we have 3 of the Premier League's top goal scorers, and it's 3 players who are guaranteed a blue card, so let's just get through these quickly. We all know they're going to get a blue, and they're all going to be pretty expensive items. So let's go through these. Jamie Vardy is currently the Premier League top goal scorer. He's got 19 goals and 4 assists, so he's definitely in. Mo Salah, 16 goals and 6 assists for the winger, very impressive numbers. And Sergio Aguero, 16 goals and 3 assists in like 17 starting appearances, which is pretty mad. Like, Aguero has not played near as many games as Salah or Aguero. It's bearing in mind also that Aguero has come off the bench a few times still, but still, impressive numbers. Anyway, all 3 of them are in. We all know that's going to happen. And now we come on to the final page of players, and we've got some more forwards to discuss. And once again, I don't feel like I need to go into detail about any of these 3 because we all know they're going to get blue items. Danny Ings has been a standout player this season, scoring 15 goals and getting 1 assist for Southampton. Southampton currently sit in 14th, and it's like the DUBRAVKA situation. Without this player, they probably would be in the relegation zone right now. Danny Ings is the 5th top goal scorer in the Premier League as well, and since he's that high in a side that's so low in the table, like, it's without a doubt that he will get a Team of the Season card. And looking at that card, you've got to imagine that if EA are going to do Team of the Season player objectives, he will be one of the rewards for the objectives. So that might be one to look out for. AUBAMEYANG has carried Arsenal at times. Like, look, I'm an Arsenal fan, trust me. We have relied on this guy so much this season. Him and Leno have saved us so often. Without AUBAMEYANG's goals, like, we could have been in a lot more trouble this year. 17 goals in the Premier League for him so far, 1 assist as well. The guy's a goal scorer, and I just hope we can keep hold of him. The final player we are going to discuss in terms of who could be released into packs is Mane, who, in my opinion, is probably the best player in the Premier League this season. I really do think he is Liverpool's best player. I think he is better than Salah, etc. And yeah, he's gone off again this year. 14 goals and 7 assists for him. So once again, it's a case of it'll be interesting to see what EA do with his rating, because obviously he does have a Team of the Season item, Team of the Year item already in Ultimate Team. Sorry. So yeah, what do you guys think EA will do? Will Team of the Season be higher rated than Team of the Year? Will it be the same rating, or will it be a rating under? Let me know in the comments. Last year, during the Team of the Season promo, we didn't just get blue cards, we also got Team of the Season moment items and also some Team of the Season flashback cards, and I expect we'll see something similar this year as well. So on the screen right now, I've got two potential ones we could see. Now, like we've already discussed, Liverpool have been outstanding this season, but their record is not unblemished. They do have one loss on their record, and the moment that Watford beat Liverpool, that was absolutely massive in the grand scheme of the Premier League, just because it's the first time that they actually were beaten. And obviously Ismail Assar was the star player on that day, so I think a moments item for him would be pretty cool. Yeah, he does already have that Future Stars card in Ultimate Team, but nonetheless, this was obviously a massive moment, and therefore it came to mind when doing this video. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts and ideas for potential candidates for player moment cards from the whole Premier League season. Next, we have a potential really good flashback item. If this one happened, this SBC would be incredibly popular, and I think most players who have coins at the time would definitely do this. Now, I didn't actually have a Tottenham player in my Premier League Team of the Season predictions, and the reason for that is I think Son has a good chance at getting a flashback card. Obviously had a Team of the Season in last year's Team of the Season. I feel like I've said that phrase too much now, but obviously he had a blue card last year, and he might get one this year, but he also might not. So I think a flashback card could actually be really good for him. What do you guys think of that idea? Let me know in the comments down below. And that, my friends, is us done for today. This video is already incredibly long, so let's do a quick outro and get out of here. Now, obviously, this is a very controversial video. There's going to be a lot of debate about some of my picks, and I look forward to seeing that in the comments down below, so be sure to be active down there. If you could leave a like rating on the video, that would be great. Also, let me know in the comments which other leagues you want me to cover next. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.